as they suffered their public shaming. Disgusted, I walked toward to the exit only to be stopped by one of the leaders of Women Against Pornography who told me in words I'll never forget. If you write about Butch Femme in the past, we will let you do it. But if you write it about it today, you are the enemy list. Oh girl, what a mistake you made. All I can say that none of us were unscarred by their public attacks, and that some of the fitness thinkers on gender are and queen erotics in our community were deeply wounded in these conflicts. I want to do an international vast exploration of Butch femme lives to open up the conversation. Let other voices from other histories as well as the present day tell their stories. Let their faces and bodies be seen. Let new readers judge themselves for what was important about this way of dressing, being, playing, resisting, and cheering. About its past and ongoing engagement with feminists. After the late 17th, I developed a project that will eventually lead to me to some of the most moving and provoking movements of persistent desire projects, a slide trace, and a roll-up screen. This was the grassroots technology that I used to speak to gay and lesbian communities whenever they will have me and to bring them image and voices from lesbian history before 1090 um, 69 with an emphasis on working class butch femme lives with my shoes box shaped cassette tape record. I started at the working table of the chips, also my dinner table, and listed and to hundreds of hours and all-time batch and fewer hours of all-time femmes telling their stories from the 40s and 50s. At least the woman like Sandy Kern who hitched her first girlfriend during a blackout in 19045 and a Brooklyn stop to Jules Bruno telling tales of her run-ins as a young butch with the police, and to the first time she also used a dildo. Still, one of my favorite narrative in all of lesbian history for its poetry, Homer bravado, and its portraying of an older femme woman clear about what she wants and all told within the bar culture related of the early 60s. I was completing what James Baldwin called his notes of a native son, a geography of the old country. He was speaking of the Jim Crow era America South in early and middle 20th centuries, while ours was the old country of vice squad raids, police rounds ups in lesbian and gay bars. Physically, assault on dark streets, and all the paraphernalia of a time when homophobia was the law of the land. But that law did not stop much McDonald's another and the voices in persistent desire from driving all over the night streets of Columbus, Ohio in 55, trying to find the one woman's bar where I could finally meet one of my own kind. Ay, me quedo sin oxígeno. This was the tension I want to recreate of oppressing and persistent I still telling my own. I believe it's because I found profound moments of the human heart in them. Because the woman sitting before me often had so little of what my society considers widely and safety, and amidst laughter, poses, flirtations, and devastating pain, they told me of the words of touch and community that had managed to create. The new homes, both of gender of and neighbor, they had created breaking countless caste system along the way and the reach of ecstasies that treated them every day. This was human stuff, important enough for the whole world to know about. I started the slideshow with image from the 41 US government supposed medical study sex variants completed by George Way Henry MD with his knife case studio of people described it as gender variants, woman, men, and intersexed. It the back of the book were the line drawings down by the contributing doctors who measured the nips and labial, the rectal and penis of the people interviewed to show their biological anomalies replete with the racism of its times. The book grew out of the government's amazement and their discovery of so many sexual deviants during the two world wars. When the measured body parts of the our elders appearance on the screen, I talk about other legends of biology determination. The colonial masters measuring of the skull size of African Americans to prove their inferiority and allowable quantity for slavery. The weight of the brains of women all the turn of the 19th centuries to prove their lack of intelligence and therefore their need for masculine custody care. The Nazis carefully measurements of the width of Jewish nostrils to establish their difference from the norm and suitable for extermination. I want this history of how our bodies were treated by the state and by science to be part of lesbian queer history. I ask my audience to be careful of arguments based on biological destiny. I still do. Never will I fight for gay rights on the basis of the argument that I was born this way. Henry's book, this its clinical language, also gave me clues to botched femme history I was looking for with a different reading. These records of pathology highlighted a lifelong resistance, patience, and accomplishment. 2 hours later, the audience had seen image from McCarthy era government-led purge of sex deviance and from the well of loneliness censorship trail of the 20s during Lady Trowbridge and Vicenzo on George Margaret John Radcliffe Hall, her patron and the book's author, on the full disclose with the word. I am stick to death of ambiguities. They had seen image from The Captive, one of the first plays with lesbian themes, which was presented by Broadway in 1928 and close up the Vines squad and had heard of how Butch femme women protect each other during bad raids.